Actually, I'm on my way to North.
Shit. I think BDB on this one. That bitch said, she said she love it here. She said she love for my show. Skirt. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I just had some chips, so hope it's not none on my face like last time. But today, y'all, we're gonna be talking about how to deal with anxiety. So, number one, anxiety can be very, very challenging in life. It can really stop you and hold you back from accomplishing a lot if you're an anxious person and you're afraid to be around people. And I know how that can be because, and I know how that can be because I used to be very anxious. Honestly, like nowadays, I don't really get anxious anymore. I don't really feel like, I don't really feel super anxious, like enough for it to show through my skin. It kind of hits me in waves sometimes if something really crazy happens. But for the most part, I'd be cool. Like the other day, something really catastrophic happened. I'm not really gonna talk about it too much because honestly, I'm not gonna tell y'all all of that yet because I want to make sure that everything's fine first before I make a public announcement of whatever. But the first thing that you have to do is you need to check your breathing. Like when you get anxious, but people don't understand, when you get anxious, the first thing that happens is your body goes into fight or flight mode. You instantly, your adrenaline starts pumping and your blood starts rushing, you start sweating, your pupils get dilated. And what happens when your adrenaline starts rushing? You stop breathing because your blood vessels are constricted because it's ready to fight or run. So the first thing you need to do once you start feeling anxious is something called the Wim Hof technique. It's from, shout out Coach Davis. It's called the Wim Hof technique. And basically what it is, it's a breathing exercise that helps you relieve stress and anxiety. So nowadays, whenever I feel stressed, I just, you gotta breathe, bro. You gotta breathe because breathing will naturally unconstrict your blood vessels and allow blood to flow properly to your brain so that you can really process what's going on in that moment. You have to process what's going on in that moment. And you have to understand that, honestly, if you're not in a life or death situation, there's no reason why you should be scared. You shouldn't be afraid to talk to a girl. You shouldn't be afraid to be around people. You shouldn't be afraid to speak your opinion. And you shouldn't be afraid to wear what you want to wear at the house. Everybody has anxiety for different reasons, but if it's not life-threatening, you really shouldn't be afraid of anything. Because being anxious and afraid to speak your opinion, to talk to people, to be around people can hold you back a lot. Because like I said in one of my previous videos, networking is very, very important. So if you're anxious, you really can't network because you can't be who you are. You can't be truly in your skin. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. This is not good advice what I'm about to tell you, but it kind of helped me out a little bit. Number one, it was going through traumatic experiences, which kind of naturally allowed me to like not really give a fuck about what's going on. I just kind of like lock in. So whatever is not really important, like there's so much stuff that goes through my mind. So whatever's not important, I kind of just be like, okay, whatever. And I don't really have time to even think about it, which means that I don't have time to be anxious about something that I'm not thinking about. But this is not good advice and I don't recommend this to anybody. But if you say like this is your first time drinking, right? And you was an anxious person and you consume alcohol or even you consume weed or anything, any type of drug. Me personally, weed makes me anxious. That's why I smoke by myself or I smoke by people that I really I'm really locked in with. But when you drink alcohol, you realize how you really don't care as much. You kind of just, you say whatever, you do whatever, you don't really care. I don't really know the science behind alcohol too much, but I'm pretty sure that the receptors that's in your brain that makes you care about stuff is probably not even there no more. Like they probably don't even care. Yo, I meant to say after I said this part right here, I meant to say get out and get around as many people as possible. You don't have to consume any drugs, but I was just saying my experiences from when I did and how I felt. But the main point of that point was to get around as many people as possible. So being under the influence sometimes allowed me to see that, like, oh my God, I'm not gonna die if I talk to this person. Like, oh, I'm not gonna die if this happens. I'm not gonna die if that happens. As long as you're not in a life or death situation, there's nothing to really be scared about. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand that anxiety is very serious. People be having panic attacks, people be freaking out and almost about to die, have a heart attack over something that's really not that serious. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much the end of the video. There's nothing really too deep to talk about, but yeah, that's how you deal with anxiety. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Yo. Rah.